All right, joining us now is Graceann Zenga. She is a specialist who has worked with Bay Eye Center since the very beginning, and Dr. Lynch. So, Graceann, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, I just want to pick your brain. I just had my eye appointment today, and I had the decision to make a new purchase, a new pair of glasses. And I'm looking at everything. I'm thinking, why can't I just go to a big box store and get something for cheaper that just gets the job done? As I'm staring at all of these great selections and designer eye brands, there actually is a true difference in what Bay Eye Center has to offer. Can you expand on that for us?
Sure. So the big box stores have their place for sure. Most of the time it's price driven and not as great of quality. They're catering to, a different demographic. Um, the people who tend to go to private practice like Bay Eye Center maybe have eye care insurance benefits that their employers have paid for or they're paying for. And going to a private practice like Bay Eye Center really allows you to get the best eye exam, the most accurate measurements for the frame that you've chosen, brands that you're probably not going to see at your major big box retailers, styles that are more current and the latest trends rather than things that are maybe discontinued or mass produced and kind of bought in mass quantity with a lower longevity. And also, the most important part, marrying that lens to the patient's needs. So there's so many different lens choices out there. It's not a one size fits all. I think most of the big box retailers really focus on that one size fits all. Bay Eye Center really focuses on the individual patient and their needs.
I think you hit that on the head because when I was in there today, um, going through all of the options, I sat down with Jen at the optician's table, and as we're picking the lenses and everything, it's just like a check, a list, a checklist, really, of exactly what I needed for my face, for my head,
Yep.
the exact fit. She's sitting there with a little marker, marking right on where my lens is. Can you
Yep.
just go a little bit more into the customization and how, fine detailed Bay Eye Center takes that?
Sure, sure. So the new lens technology today really truly customizes that entire lens, whether you're a single vision patient or progressive wear or doing something task specific like occupational lenses. And it creates that lens to your exact prescription that the doctor just arrived at in the exam room, the frame that you've selected, where your eye is centered in that frame, and it customizes that lens accordingly so you can see clearly throughout the whole entire lens rather than just right in front of you. So it really is a custom made job, each and every patient.
You're absolutely right, Grace. And there is a true science behind it. Remember speaking with Drew in the Mansfield office, Dr. Lynch will send them to different states, New York City, Las Vegas, to big, conventions to learn these things. And it does make a big difference. So I just want to take you through my day because you just mentioned customization. I wake up, two young kids, 5-year-old, 3-year-old. First thing I do is grab my eyeglasses, throw those on so I can see. Get my son on the bus. After he hops on, if it's still warm and sunny out, I'll take my daughter out, throw my contact lenses on, and then drive her to school. And then I go to work and I sit in front of a computer for 9.5 hours a day. Those are all different kind of vision experiences, if you will.
Mhm.
Can you explain how Bay Eye can kind of be there for every single minute of the day for me?
Sure. So you just talked about like so many different scenarios that could be, you know, really drilled down to a lot of different solutions. There's many patients that are very contact lens dependent. It's just they wake up before they even sip their coffee, they pop them in, and all day long, you're wearing your contact lenses. And we're doing much more, whether you're, again, a younger patient who's just single vision and a student versus an older patient who maybe is wearing a multifocal or a progressive lens. The eye strain and eye fatigue that we all experience every day, no matter what your age, that multitasking with seeing in the distance, looking at your handheld device, reading, computer, throughout your day, you're creating so much additional eye strain and eye fatigue that there's so many people that suffer from dry eye and migraine headaches because of that. So Bay Eye Center can absolutely create really individualized solutions for someone like you. So you mentioned you put your son on the bus, and if it's bright and sunny, then you put your sunglasses on. Things like if you had your glasses on and they were clear inside and you chose a photochromatic lens, when you go to put your son outside, if it's a bright and sunny day, it's going to darken up. You're not even going to notice. You're just going to notice that you're super comfortable and you don't have to go shuffling through your drawer to find your sunglasses. They automatically become a sunglass. And then you go back inside with your daughter and they're clear. So those conveniences are definitely discussed at the time that you're sitting, making your frame selection, making your lens selection. And the specialist at Bay Eye Center actually can match up all of your needs to what's available in technology.
I think you hit that on the head, Graceann. So one other thing that I'd like you to explain to us, the idea behind AR lenses. Can you explain what AR lenses are?
Sure. So AR is an abbreviation for anti-reflective coating. At one time years ago, just like all technology, right? Remember the bag phone versus our little handhelds now?
Yeah.
AR technology has just come such a long way, and it's almost the standard now. I I I cover a very big territory. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's almost a given that patients will get an AR coated lens now. The AR coating is actually part of the lens structure now. It's not like a something that's painted on there or dipped on the lens. It's actually baked on throughout a process of high heat. It sits in a chamber and it's layers and layers of components that create a lens that not only reduces eye strain and eye fatigue by eliminating glare, but it also gives you additional scratch protection. It adds an extra layer of protection on that lens so that over the life of the lens, it's going to stay cleaner longer. It's going to resist smudges. So that's the gold standard with most lenses nowadays.
You know, I
Um,
Go ahead.
oops,
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
It
I was just
also
going to
helps.
go ahead.
It also helps with night driving. It just reduces that oncoming headlight glare when you're on Zoom calls or you're sitting under, artificial light. It actually makes your eye much more comfortable because you're not receiving all that glare transmitting through the lens.
It really is cool to hear just like how intricate and how much thought goes into each individual lens. I just throw on my pair of glasses. I'm like, all right, great, I can see. But
Yep.
you explaining this just really puts it into, for lack of a better word, a clearer picture for me.
Oh,
I'm gonna throw a little curveball at you here. So
okay.
we're talking to our patients, just like myself. Why should family and friends of all of our patients also be going to Bay Eye Center? You've highlighted a lot of differences, but why should family and friends invite everyone else to join?
I really think it's quality of care. Um, you know, if the doctor is is creating that first point of contact, looking at the health of your eye, figuring out what your visual needs are, asking questions based on your lifestyle, you're now able to provide, Bay Eye Center would be able to provide that full circle of care, getting you the best pair of frames for your face that fit you well, that are, according to your, where your eyes are sitting in it, how it's sitting on the bridge of your nose so that you're going to be comfortable on it. And then also marrying that prescription that the doctor took their time arriving at with the best lens solution. So it's just full circle of care so that when you leave after you've picked your new glasses up that you're going to see extremely well, exactly the way the doctor ordered, and they stand behind everything.
Well said. And it's like a fine-tuned machine because you walk in, you check in. It's just they're ready and waiting. You're not waiting ever. Every minute matters. So
Right.
thank you for that. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? You've provided a ton of good, valuable information. Anything else you'd like to add?
So I think the most important thing right now in our industry, which is lens technology, we have come such a long way. I know years ago, people that, you know, got into their 40s and their arms all of a sudden aren't long enough and they're needing that extra correction for reading. Um, were put into multifocals or progressives, no line bifocals. And at one time, the success rate with someone being able to wear lenses like that, really, it was 50-50. Sometimes it worked. I think a lot of it was the motivation of the patient too, because your other alternative is two pairs of glasses or something with a line down the middle that Ben Franklin created 200 some odd years ago. And nobody wants to look like that. We've come such a long way when it comes to lens technology. They actually use artificial intelligence to create lenses customized for each and every patient. So again, starting with that great eye health exam with the doctor, and then being able to, fill that circle of care within the practice ensures that you're going to get the best technology.
Well said. Graceann Zenga, a true expert in her field. Thank
Ah,
you for being with the Bay Eye Center family for since the beginning, day one. Appreciate you
thank you.
sharing your expertise with us.
Thank you so much for having me.